People should know that it's very user-friendly, it's very point and click, and that it stores a lot of information. It stores a lot of information, whether it's being entered manually, whether you're uploading information, including documents, and you can also export the information so they can manipulate the data the way that you want for your requirements. I use Dynamics 365 every single day, and it's used in different ways, but in my role, it's used to manage data and to keep everything in one place. Because I work in insurance, we deal with brokerages, and within one brokerage, we can drill it down uh, to all different levels. So we look at it from um, the corporate level, and then we drop it down to the master, location, agency, and then individuals. We can see their stats, we can see their contact information, we can change things, we can uh, rank them in different ways in terms of importance. And it's very personalized. Like when we got Dynamics 365, we were able to work with the company in order to fine tune it to our needs. So I go in there and I look at data, I upload data, I export information into Excel, and then I'm able to share it within my company to different departments. And they, at that stage, use the information for their needs. So it's really user friendly and very efficient rather than looking at different databases and try and piece things together. Everything is stored in one place. For the reasons that I just stated, previous to Dynamics 365, we had different folders where we were storing things within our department and other departments as well. We weren't speaking to other departments, we weren't sharing our folders. They were restricted to our own review and administrative capabilities. But now, since using 365 for all these years, we're able to share information. We all have different access to it. So sometimes some people are just a reader of the information, whereas other people are administrators. But regardless, you're able to go there and download or review information, whereas previously it'd be a little more inefficient where you'd have to know the appropriate person within the company to email, to contact, and to request that information. Sometimes it wasn't done timely, sometimes it wasn't done in a way where all the information was provided, and then there'd be a lot more back and forth. It was a lot more of a time waster than it is now. So everything housed under Dynamics 365 is just a way where we can easily access the information that we need and then use it to move on to other tasks. The software we use are just like the typical software that most companies would use. There wasn't anything like Dynamics 365 where we would use it from a different company, place to store data. It was just kind of pieced together. Basically we all had our email, we all used Outlook, we all used Microsoft products like obviously Excel and other just internal software databases. Like we would basically build our own databases and share that way. And one database that we even use is really archaic. It's DOS based, so you have to know the codes and you have to either have them written down or have them stored somewhere in order to retrieve information. So it's not point and click like Dynamics 365. It's something where you're able to access information as long as you know the codes in order to retrieve the information. So it was all scattered. It wasn't stored all together, and this was a way to remove that problem. Dynamics 365 is accessible company-wide, and there's many different departments within my company, pardon me, and every department has different uses for Dynamics 365. So we had to ensure that not only were people able to access it, whether they're in a reader role or an administrative role, but that the required information was all uploaded, because it's not just instantaneous, it's very a la carte. You can add what you want, you can include different drop down menus. Not everything is well thought out unless you drill down and really analyze it, because things can easily be missed if you don't have a cohesive plan as to what should be included. Things can easily be left out, and those things you realize down the road are important to access. So I recall many different departments coming together to meet along with a representative of Dynamics 365, where they were able to guide us as to what we should be incorporating into what we ended up using. Well, firstly, and I know I keep on using the word efficient, but if they have our different data sources which do not speak to one another, and if they are working in a way where they're kind of having to rely on themselves to communicate with each other in order to share information, Dynamics 365 is a way to alleviate most of that. I would suggest to do what we did, because there are so many options with Dynamics 365 as to what should be included, what is not required, and communication to get what is really important company-wide is necessary. So it's not the sort of thing where you can order it, have it onboarded, and everyone gets trained on it and start using it. There needs to be a learning curve incorporated into the plan, along with the input of all the departments that will be using it.